Hello again, writers. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today we're going to continue learning about different ways to plan when we write. So we've talked about a few different strategies. We've talked about the say, sketch, write strategy. We've also talked about an idea web and how to use that. Today we're going to talk about how to organize a paragraph using what I like to call the hamburger paragraph strategy. So today we're going to be talking about this because this is an important strategy for any time you have to provide information about a certain topic. So this is helpful because sometimes you only have to write one paragraph and you only use it one time. Other times you might, based on your idea web, write a whole bunch of paragraphs, and you can use this strategy inside of each paragraph for your essay. So it works really well for when you're first learning to write and when you are a more advanced writer. So that's why I really like it, and I sometimes still use it today. So let's go ahead and talk about this strategy. Just before we get started, if you don't have a printer and you can't print out this, it's totally fine. You can just get a piece of paper and we're just going to draw 6 rectangles on it, okay? But don't worry about that right now. We're going to go ahead and talk about our strategy. So we are learning about the hamburger writing strategy. And like I said, this is a strategy for planning a paragraph. And remember, we want to plan our writing before we go ahead and write it, just to help us kind of get our ideas organized and make sure that the information we're going to share makes sense into this paragraph, or if I need to put it in a different spot. So basically, we're going to be writing a few sentences or about a few different things. So first we're going to do a top bun. Then we're going to do our lettuce, tomato, burger, and our bottom bun. So our top bun is the introduction or the topic sentence. So when we do this, this is basically when we are beginning our paragraph with something that's interesting, a hook. Something like if you were a fish and you were swimming, you'd want to bite right onto this. Or if you're a reader and you're looking around at all the different papers, you want to read this book or read this paragraph because it is interesting from that first sentence. We also want to tell our main idea. So this is when I usually answer the question, is right here, or I'm providing a main idea about this topic that I'm going to give you more information about. After that, we go into our 3 supporting details, and this is our lettuce, tomato, and burger. This is the meat or the main stuff inside of our paragraph. So in each of these, we're going to give some evidence or examples to support our main idea. And we should also, of course, use transition words when we do this, when we turn it into writing. So we're going to give 3 details about why we think what we think. This works really well when you're trying to share your opinion or when you're trying to prove something that you're wanting to write about. And then our conclusion is just a sentence that kind of sums it up, and it kind of matches our top bun. You can see that they're the same color, they're both buns, so they're both going to be saying about the same thing, just with different words. So up here we're kind of getting them interested, but down here we're still talking about that same main idea, but we know that our reader has a lot more knowledge about that now that we've written about it. And then if you're writing lots of paragraphs, this will also kind of start to transition to your next hamburger idea. So we're going to go ahead and look at an example because I know it's a little bit tricky when we first just look at our hamburger paragraph without giving you information. So I went ahead and I made an example of our hamburger paragraph. So this doesn't look as beautiful because it's just some squares, but it's okay, because it doesn't need to be beautiful. It just needs to be a way for me to organize my ideas. So if you don't have a printer and can't print this out, you can just make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes or shapes on your paper. And we're going to go ahead and start, okay? So this is our introduction. So this is where we're going to put our introduction or our topic sentence. So in this prompt, my teacher asked me, hey, should people wear masks? There's this thing called the coronavirus right now, and should people wear masks? What do you think? So my opinion is yes, I think that we should wear a mask. So I put an exclamation point because I want to tell people, yes, wear a mask. And I'm going to make them excited and interested and make them think, maybe I should wear a mask too, or I wonder why she thinks this. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give 3 supporting details. And a supporting detail is a reason for why. So if someone says, well, why? I'm going to have 3 reasons for why I think people should wear masks. So my first reason that I gave is that it stops the spread of germs. And I think that I could keep talking about this and talk about how what germs are, and germs are bad, and that they can hurt our bodies. So those are some reasons for why I think that it stops the spread of germs and why we should wear a mask. So if someone asked me, why should you wear a mask? I could say, because it stops the spread of germs. But they might say, well, why else? And I have another reason, so don't worry. My next reason is that it can protect you. There are some types of masks that keep you from getting germs from other people. So not only am I keeping my germs in, I'm also not giving people other germs. I'm not getting other people's germs. So that is my second reason. But they might say, hey, I still don't believe you. I need another reason. Well, don't worry. Our graphic organizer has another spot for us right there. And my reason is that it looks cool. I think that some masks can be really pretty. There are some with flowers on them, or some people have like their favorite Paw Patrol characters or Spider-Man, or I even have seen them that look like monkey faces. There's all sorts of cool ones that I could write about and say that I think they look really cool. So then after we've done our 3 supporting details, we need to kind of sum it up and kind of explain again what our main idea is, in case our reader gets sidetracked thinking about all the different types of masks they want to look at, and maybe they want to go buy one. We want to bring them back and, hey, remember what we were talking about? So we're going to kind of have our bottom bun be very similar to our top bun. So up here I said, yes, wear a mask. And down here I'm saying, wear a mask. And I might add more details about like the reasons I said above. I might say, as you can see, it's clear that we should wear a mask for lots of reasons, or there's lots of different ways that we can say it, but we want to make sure that it matches our top bun. So let's go ahead and do this together. I have another one up here that we're going to go ahead and talk about. And my teacher is asking me, tell me about one of your favorite things to do. So I have this blank one, and my teacher says, what's one of your favorite things to do? So I'm going to sit and think for a second. Well, what is one of my favorite things to do? Oh, I know. I love to bake. I like to make cookies and brownies and cakes, and I like to share them with my friends, and I like to eat them, and I think they smell good, and it's kind of makes me feel like a scientist because I get to mix all these ingredients, and then they poof up in the oven and they turn into something new. And so I think that baking is a really fun thing to do. That's what I want to write about. So I need to put it in my graphic organizer because I just told you a whole bunch of stuff, but if I went to write right now, I wouldn't know what to start with. So let's think. Well, I should answer her question. So I'm going to put that in my topic because I'm going to make this whole paragraph be about baking. So I should probably put that in my topic, right? So my prompt was, tell me about one of your favorite things to do. So I might say that baking is my favorite thing to do. But I want to make it interesting, remember? So I might say something like, did you know that baking is really fun? Something like that to kind of get them interested. But I'm just going to write baking because I don't need to write my whole paragraph, my whole sentence on here. This is just some planning. So I'm going to write baking. Baking is something I like to do. All right. They're going to ask me why. I know it. They want to know why I like baking. But I got to put 3 reasons at least for why I like baking. Well, let me think. I did say that one of the reasons is that when I make stuff, it tastes really good, and I like to eat it after. So I might say that it tastes good. And I could go into more details about that in my sentences, and I could say that I think that cookies taste really good, or I like to sometimes make this certain type of cake that has chocolate mousse in it, and that adds some nice texture to it to make it really flavorful. So I could have a lot of details there. I could add another supporting detail. Why else do I like baking? Well, I like to share it with other people when I bake. It's something that I can give away and make people happy. I like to give people my cookies and stuff, and that makes them happy. So I'm going to say I like to share my baked goods with others. Share with others. And when I do that, notice that I didn't write who I'm sharing with because I could add that later and add more details, but this gives me some information for to remind me what I want to write about later. All right, I still need some more reasons. Why else do I like to bake? What are some other reasons? Or why else could I try to prove it? And I might think, oh, well, I think it's really fun because I kind of feel like I'm a scientist mixing chemicals and ingredients together and making something brand new. So I'm going to say it's fun like science. Okay, so I went ahead and I gave 3 reasons for why I think baking is good. But what do I put in this bottom bun again? I can't remember. Maybe I should look at my anchor chart. Oh, I think it's under here. The bottom bun is my conclusion or my closing sentence. So this is supposed to sum up my main idea that I set up here, and it can also transition to my next paragraph. So I think that I need to talk about baking again because that's what I set up here. So I should probably talk about how I think baking is really great and how it's the best. So I'm going to write about baking again down here. And what's great about this is now I could go ahead and I could write a really good paragraph with lots of details. I could add more details about how it tastes good and how it's nice to share with others and how I feel like a scientist. I could add more details to each of those supporting details, but now I have a plan for what I want to write, so I know what I'm doing. All right, I hope you guys had fun learning about the hamburger paragraph. I hope I didn't make you too hungry while we were watching this. What I'd like for you all to do is I'd like for you to make your own hamburger paragraph. You can either print out a copy of mine that I have posted on Bubble Up, or you can go ahead and just make five rectangles, and you can add some ideas to your writing, okay? Enjoy and make sure you have fun planning your writing. Bye.